Well, good morning, tubes. It is Wednesday. We're gonna paint those wheels. Get those done. Wire wheel them real quick to get the scabby stuff off. These aren't peeling as bad. They just need a new coat. I'm just tired of looking at crap, you know. Yeah, that's got some scabbies. So I'm gonna get those done. These turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with those. I mean, you know, it's not a brand new wheel, you know. So I got that I want to get done today, and I think what I'd like to do is maybe just tape around these shocks right here. Maybe just tape the shocks off or something, and get this degreased and painted. Probably come in with some brake cleaner if I got it, and just get this oil stuff off. Wire wheel, any loose stuff, and just get this painted up. I want like exposed areas like that I need to get painted up, and the shock hoop needs to get painted up. These buckets here are actually coated in a zinc, got a zinc coating, but I want to get that painted. I want to see if we can do that today. Should be able to if I have enough paint. I don't want to have to go buy any paint. So we got roll bar, and you know what, we'll probably use that on the frame. We got this for the wheels. I suppose we could mix the two. This needs to get used up. That paint I've had for over a year now, so that stuff needs to get used. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get this thing jacked up in the back, get the wheels, front wheels blocked off. We'll get the back on stands, and then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put it in the low range and in first gear, and then what I'm gonna do is get the wire wheel on here. Just do a quick wire wheel without hitting the valve stem, and then paint it up. So some people are not gonna like how I'm gonna do this, but this is how I'm gonna do it. All right, got both wheels off the ground. Just doing some checks. Wheel bearings are good. Got it high range. Hear all the gears moving. Rolls freely, that's what I want. Limited slip still works pretty good. Both wheels are turning, so yeah, alright. So for the wire wheel portion, I'm gonna spin this by hand. And then spin it by hand. I'm gonna come in with a rag and wipe all this down. And then we'll fire it up, throw it in low range, and paint the wheels that way. The problem I have with doing that now is I've realized that the front drive shaft is still spinning, and although it's highly unlikely, if someone were to turn one of those hubs in, or stupid enough to turn both of them, it would lock and take off, but that's pretty much impossible, so I'm not too worried about it. Fire home. I was gonna have to do a 8/8 swap to do 410s front and rear, because you know I want to do a matched gear set. It's just how I want to do it, you know. So, well, the whole reason behind that is because I can get a 411 for the rear or a 409, but I can't get a 410 if I wanted to do strictly 410s up front, right? Well, I was looking around it again on Summit Racing for other selections for gears and stuff, and they have 411s for the front. So I think we're gonna do 411s for the front, 411s in the back, and then call it a day. So I'm gonna keep the 9-inch back here because this is the factory rear end. The whole swap though for front and rear gears and all the kits is gonna be almost $1,000. You don't have a load on it, you can float the gears. Yeah, I think that'll tame my I gotta get new wheels and tires right now attitude. That just makes a whole lot of difference. You know, you can tell that's got some scrubbies, some scrabblies on it still, but I'll roll with that. So, cool. Alright. While I was in there, I kind of painted the drive shaft while it was spinning. I didn't get underneath the truck. I just sat right about here and just reached in. And, you know, you don't want to get too stupid. It's just stupid enough. Yeah, I think that'll do. I'll let that sit there and dry for a little bit. See, when you get it in a rotisserie manner, it's much easier to paint. You can actually control the gun a little bit more. And it ends up making an even paint job too. So I think that came out pretty good. That's much better than what I did when I first did it. Although my prep work was about the same. So but yeah, fresh coat of paint looks good. I think that was the second one I did. That one came out pretty good too. And next spring, summer, I'll get new wheels and tires. Definitely before the next winter. I think these will get me by just one more winter, and then it's going to be time to start thinking about tires. So I've been looking at some comments right now for tires. Suggestion for Coopers. I don't really like Coopers. It kind of seems like they wear faster. At least the SST or STT or whatever, the mud tires. I mean, it's going to be a soft tire, so it is going to wear fast. These tires, I thought I bought these longer ago, but longer time ago. But I've gotten 3 years. I probably get 4 years tops out of them, which I think is a good, at least for an off-road tire, is a good good run out of a set of tires. I've probably got about 30,000 miles on these tires. 30,000, 34,000, something like that. Yeah, because I think I got these. Let's see, I finished the Cummins swap in like June or July of 2014, and then it was March of 2015 I got these tires. So I think I only had about 5,000 or 6,000 miles on the Cummins by the time I got tires. So actually I think I've got about 40,000 miles out of these tires. Now honestly I could probably squeeze another 10 to 15,000 out of them. So 50, 60,000 miles out of a set of tires that, you know, it's been kind of rough on this truck. You know, it's got a limited slip in the back, so you're wearing tires a little bit faster because of that, especially on a truck. A little bit lighter back here, you know. And then on the front, you know, we've had some stuff going here. We had a twin I-beam that was kind of goofy and wearing funny, and we, you know, we figured that out, and it was all good and didn't wear weird or anything. But twin I-beam, you know, is pretty hard on tires anyways. And then we did a solid axle swap, and that's I've done my own steering alignments. I've done them twice on this truck, and have gotten them dead on to where they're not really wearing the tires funny, and it, you know, for the most part, tracks straight. I was noticing a little bit of feathering on this one right here, so we may need to tow her out a tiny bit. Not too sure on that one, but I keep them rotated, so they are wearing fairly evenly. So I rotate them probably at least once a year. I think what I see is a set of wheels or a set of tires starts getting low on tread, and then I do the standard rotation for a four-wheel drive truck, and then the fronts will have a lot of meat on them. You'll put them on the back, and then if the fronts were wearing funny, they'll also like feathering and stuff, they'll even out in the back here. These were feathered, actually getting feathered really bad, because I didn't quite have the alignment done on that properly, so they flattened out. So you keep them rotated, and then keep your steering alignment close enough or perfect, or keep it checked at a shop. And your tires will last a while. So I don't know. Anyways, Coopers, if I was gonna be in the mud, intentionally in the mud, like, you know, like Todd's Bronco, he's got the Coopers, and they work great in the mud. I'm sure he'll pop his little review in this video, and I hope he does, because they are good tires. However, the way I see it, I don't need a mud tire, and I don't want a soft tire, because I don't want to be, you know, blowing through tires. Coopers, not so much. Like, this is going to be light off-road, and then you know, highway and treacherous terrain. You know, especially out here, it snows out here every once in a while. In the winter, I don't know. I know in March we had like 2 inches of snow. It was crazy. Not used to that. You know, and in the valley, it's like, yeah, you're not getting no snow. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. I want an all-terrain tire for light off-road and highway use. So these BFGs have done really good for me. I really like them. But it's a couple other suggestions from some people. Let's see, Falken, Wild Peak, and General Grabber. I think it's an AT2, and then on the Wild Peak it was a W3 or something weird. I looked at both of them, and the Falcons looked pretty good, and look comparable to the BFGs, and they're much cheaper. On the size that I want, I can get them for $144 or $149 in a 33 12.5 by 15. I know I said I was trying to keep it under 12 inches, but looking at the 32-inch tires, the overall diameter ends up being like 31.5. So if I go with a 33, it'll be like 32.5 or something like that. So I'm gonna go with the 33. That'll be good, and then we'll have 411s. So we'll have a decent gear ratio for, you know, because I want to be able to, like that trailer, you know, pulling the trailer is great when you load it up and you don't have the gearing and the differentials. It's real hard on the engine and transmission, and I've been finding that out. Like even pulling that Honda home, yeah, I can do 60 miles an hour, even in fifth gear, but you know you have no acceleration. So I wanna get rid of the 350 gears. So that's the route I'm gonna go. I think what I want to do, I'm gonna come in here with a wire brush probably and just clean up any loose stuff. Ideally what I should do to prep this properly is pull these shocks out, but the problem with pulling these shocks out is that they're so stiff you can't freaking get in here. Huh. The shock hoops are actually pretty thick. I'm not too worried about them rusting or anything. It's the frame I want to keep protected, because you could cut all this out later and weld in something differently. And these shock, these were actually kind of hard to make. This is my first hoops that I kind of set up and then had a friend weld up. Yeah, there. I'd probably do it differently. I think probably what I'd like to do is put a strap around the shock, or even have a mock-up shock. What I would like to have done was actually bring the shock over this way, because you can see they're kind of tilted forward. And then I I actually like the height of the hoop, because it's almost in line with the spring. And also it keeps it from putting too much leverage on the weld points. And I'd probably actually plate the hoop first, and then make a plate that just bolts in. Maybe try and reuse some of these holes in here. Just make a plate where everything just bolts right in. So it's probably something I would do next time if I had to do this again. Actually, honestly, if I had to do it again, I'd just do coilovers. Just weld on a nice beefy mount and then bolt in a coilover. I did a quick wire brush, just kind of cleaned up some of the loose stuff, blew it off with some compressed air, and just gave it a quick coat of black paint. That looks a lot better. I'm actually going to put make a little flap to put in there that'll go over the top of the shocks and spring, and it'll protect the top of the shocks and bushings from road spray. Just gave it a quick coat of paint. All I want to do is just keep some of the road spray off. And then there was a spot back here that had some scariness going on, just from not being protected. So, oh bud, this tranny's going out. So we'll see how well that sticks. Probably, you know what I'd like to do? I would love, if I had the space and property for this, I would love to actually pull this whole truck right off the frame, strip the frame down to nothing, and just clean it up and reinforce some key spots. Kind of think about this. So this is what happens when you get salt water on it. You get this kind of crap right here. What I want to do is, I don't know how I want to take this off. I want to get this down to bare metal, basically, is what I want to get at. So it may just be that aggressive grinding wheel, not grinding wheel, but wire wheel. Just polish it down. And then I've got these little holes that I welded up. I gotta finish grinding those down. get them flat. And then I think what I'd like to do up in here, maybe weld in a plate so that those can bolt into and be nice and sturdy. Yeah. But aside from that brain fart, I want to get this thing wire wheeled, and then I want to primer it, paint it, and then do some kind of truck bed coating or whatnot, or even just a rubber mat in here would be cool, just to keep it easy. And we might be done with this video. I'm gonna probably tinker around with the truck, see if I can find anything stupid that needs to be fixed, that I can fix without spending $200. Probably do a little cleanup. She's getting a little grimy. I hate seeing it all grimy. Well, not grimy, it's actually kind of dusty. So I'll tinker around. If I find anything, I'll throw you back on. If not, we'll catch you next time.